Farmer Rick has one of our new chicken tractors put together. We purchased these chicken tractors from a company called Pine View Sales down in Brinkhaven, Ohio. Took Rick just a couple of hours. It's the same size as our other chicken tractors, 10 by 12. It will hold 80 chickens out on pasture and protect them from predators.
Gen 2, version 2. It's slightly different that it's not bent on the gable end. These are welds. And the big difference is that it has the lift up handles that also lift up the wheels in the back. And you can see that I'm not having to pull a cable to activate those wheels. And you can move it around anywhere you need or anywhere you want. It's about 80 pounds when you lift that up and walk it around. And we can get side covers and back cover and front covers for when it starts getting a little bit more in the turkey time, the Thanksgiving time of year. But this is what we went for so that we could, we didn't have to repair them every year. We could walk in to address any of the feeding issues or any problems inside the coop. We didn't have to go fishing inside for them. We could easily spot the health of the herd while we're doing the feeding, rather than just seeing the birds that are up front. We'll have 2 feeders in here. Each one will have about 40-pound capacity. That'll be enough for the birds for a 24-hour period, and 2 7-gallon buckets, and that's enough to take care of birds. Usually one's good enough to take care of birds for 24 hours, but we keep it redundant because they clog. And that's not necessarily this model, but we just want to have redundant so our birds don't go without water. So getting the birds out will be very easy. We'll have one person in there that could actually scoop them up and put them into the transportation crates right here at the door, and we will not be having someone have to go dive deep under, or 3 people outside of a chicken tractor trying to shoo the birds into one corner and so on. I'm hoping that what we'll be able to do is just pull the trailer, the stock trailer, right up to the door and just herd the turkeys right up into the stock trailer so that we don't have to pick up a 50-pound bird flapping its wings and beating us up. We did this because with me possibly being gone a little bit more or a little bit more irregularly than usual, that Katie can move these and the girls can move them without having to use the gator, without having to hurt themselves, and having the lids fall on us and not having to repair things on the fly all the time. So this is our new transition. We'll keep you informed and posted on how it goes, and don't forget to subscribe to the Laetus Pullus YouTube channel, because we're going to have a little bit more information about the PortA-Coop that we're working on with PortA-Coop themselves. So we'll put that out in a different announcement. These are our homemade chicken tractors. We made these based on Joel Salatin's design of a chicken tractor that can be moved every day. 10 by 12, 10 feet wide, 12 feet deep. 3/4 of the top is covered with sheet metal, and then the 4th one's open. We used all 1/2 or a 1/2 inch hardware cloth, and the way we moved them is we pivoted up the wheels and they blocked off, lifting the tractor about 4 inches off the ground, and we would pull them to new pasture with the airless wheelbarrow tires. You can also see here that I put some stands for 5-gallon buckets that flowed down into a water bell hung on each side. So we had 2 watering bells for a little bit of redundancy in case one clogged. This became sometimes a dangerous situation where they would fall, the wind, or you'd bump them and they fall. We've had these things fall on our heads, each of us, several times. The other downside to this is that the chickens, when you're trying to get them out for processing, they run them back in the middle. So somebody has to dive in and get them out. We did put a removable top on this last one. The other thing that's wrong with these is they're very heavy to move. Very difficult if I'm not here for Katie or the girls to move them, just about impossible. And they require a lot of repair and maintenance as the years go on. This one's about, this one I built last year to replace one of the other ones that fell apart. So altogether we've had, I think, 8 tractors, resulting in 4 that we still have today that are left over. And we would open them up to feed them. We'd have to take the trough feeders out of them every day, feed them, put them up like this, and then get the feeders out. And then move the tractor and then refeed them. And that's that's about everything on this tractor. So this is the replacement for our chicken tractors I talked about a little earlier. And so a couple things that I breezed over on the other chicken tractor is that we also raised turkeys. So the chicken tractor was a bit short for the turkeys. The difference is we didn't tell them it was a chicken tractor. We told them it was a turkey tractor, so they didn't know the difference. But anyhow, this is much better for turkeys as well. As you can see, this PortA-Coop, as it's called, is a 6-foot peak and 3-foot sides, and it's got an entry in here that you can walk in and out of easily. And the other reason we selected this is that it doesn't require a lot of repair. The frame's not deteriorating. It's a powder coated frame. It's still varmint proof and predator proof. And we also are able to get some sides for it, and then even have the peak come down, but have 3 sides or even 4 sides of canvas on here. Top is replaceable anytime. We know some folks who have one of these down in Ohio. They've had it for about 5 years and it still looks pretty doggone new. So we're not too concerned about that wearing out quickly. I asked the folks who make PortA-Coop and to design and manufacture, fabricate some shelves for our 5-gallon water buckets that feed the watering bells. And the advantage to that is after they're all moved, I can come behind with the gator and just fill all the buckets, all with just one pass by all of them. We can see here that the tires on this coop, similar to our other coop, they're airless tires, so that we don't have to worry about them deflating or bending or anything like that. The coop in its entirety, minus the feeders and the waters, is 168 pounds. When you pick it up, it feels approximately 70, 75, maybe 80 pounds from the handle while you're moving it. This particular item, this particular coop, is pinned together, and you can undo the pins, the top and bottom, on all 4 corners, pull it apart for storage or for transportation. The new design has just 4 bolts on each corner, and then again it pulls apart for transportation. If you come inside here, as I said, it's easily accessible door. So as you can see, the 6-foot peak works out really well for coming in here and servicing the feeders. The feeders hold approximately 40 pounds of food, good for at least 24 hours. We can fill them as needed. Then I can unhook them and then just hook them up to the top to get them out of the way when we take the chickens out for processing. Same here with the waters. We can lift them up and put them down as necessary for whatever animals we have in here, turkey versus chickens, and those will just ride along with us when we move the coop. So these chickens have been in here for, I think I moved them out here about 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock this morning, and you can see they've had their share of foraging and finding things to eat, bugs, legumes, and doing all the things that chickens do. And that's why we have our chickens on pasture, so that they can live like chickens, exercise their chickenness, as Joel Salatin says.
You can see that we made a modification to the chicken tractor. We decided just to add a little bit more protection. We put the metal down there on the bottom. The coop did a really nice job keeping the rain out off the chicken, and yeah, they're looking pretty good and plump, and they're glad the rain has stopped, and so are we.
We have an escapee